Welcome to AV Tiles and Sanitary Kollam's brand new episode. Today we are going to introduce a product, and the name of the product is Laticrete Superset. This is produced by MYK Laticrete India, and the product is called Superset, and it is basically a water coagulant. So what it does and what is the use of what it does, let's find out. So as I said, this is a water coagulant. So basically what it does, it thickens the water in which the cement is mixed to prepare the grout. And where is this grout used? It is used in the conventional way of tile laying, at the last point of tile laying, just before the tiles are laid. So to understand that better, we need to discuss first the two ways in which generally the tiles are laid. So let's find out that first. So the first way of tile laying is where you have a plain RCC or a PCC bed on which we put cement, sand and a little bit water. Together we mix this and this mixture is laid. Now once this mixture is laid, we set up the level of the floor, and once that is done, the tiles are put roughly on the top to see if the tiles are also in level. Once that is ascertained, the tiles are lifted, and this grout mix which I mentioned earlier, which is made of water and cement, it's a very watery liquid, that is poured over the place where the first tile is supposed to be laid. Now once that is done, the tool which the masons have, they plow the area with that tool so the little bit of sand comes up. Now that is done, the tile which was lifted from the place, that is brought back, put on top, and now the tile is slightly higher than it was earlier. So we know the levels now, so they use a hammer and they hit it and bring it back to that level. In this process, the grout gets stuck to the tile surface, and this is generally how traditionally tiles are laid everywhere. So where does this product come into play? Well, this product come into play in that water in which that cement is mixed to prepare the grout. And why this is important? Let me tell you that. So earlier in our part of the world, which is Kerala in India, we used to use river sand. Now river sand is very cold and it has a very organic structure to it, and it doesn't react with the cement. So it had many good properties, but then also it was hurting the ecological balance of our nature. So subsequent governments put ban on it, and now the river sand is absolutely missing. But all the masons who are working here, they are used to the river sand and the liberties that the river sand offered. But now the times have changed. We have M sand and P sand, which are basically powdered stones. Now these powdered stones act differently from the river sand, and that's where the need for such products come in. Now let's understand, when this grout is poured over the mixture, the M sand or the P sand, which is the part of that mixture, it has a lot more pores through which the water can seep in. But in case of river sand, it was so tightly combined, the crystals were so tightly combined that the water could not go through it. And besides, the river sand had a saturation, a water saturation, which is very difficult to find, or which is very difficult to attain in M sand or P sand. So which means the water would not get into the river sand because the river sand is already damp and saturated with water. So I hope you understand what I am saying. So now these powdered stones, these are thirsty material, if you want to put it figuratively, and they drink all the water from that cement grout. Now what is left on top when the tile is being hit upon is grout which is bereft, or which is lacking the sufficient water it needs in it to perform its job better. And that's where Superset comes into play. Since it is a water coagulant, what it does, it holds the water inside that grout and leave it for sufficient time that the tile is put and it is hit upon, and you know that the water is still there with the cement to be adhered to the tile. So I don't know, I should have done this with some sort of video imagery, and we'll try to do that if we can take it from another clipping or something. But otherwise also I think I make my point clear. Now let's find out what is the second way of tile laying. The second way of tile laying, it doesn't require the sand, cement and water mixture. It is done by using tile adhesives. Now there what we do is, we have a same base, a PCC base or an RCC base, on which first we do a plastering. The plastering is done with an M sand, cement and a lot of water this time. So basically it has the consistency of a plastering material. And now the floor, whether it is an RCC or PCC, it is covered with this material and a spirit level is achieved. Now this surface is cured for 3 to 5 days, and once that is done, we simply use tile adhesive for 3 mm to 4 mm thickness and just apply the tile over it. Now this second method is a far better method, and it does not require products like these to help you. But in case you are forced to use the first method or the conventional method, you have to use this. There is no way out. So now let's come to the technical side, how to use this product. So this is a 300 milliliter bottle. So this is by MYK Laticrete. The same material is also provided by a company like Roff, which I know, but they offer it in a powdered form. And this powdered form also comes in 300 grams. So what is this connection of 300 among the companies? Well, it is a very simple thing. This 300 ml or the 300 gram in Roff, these are supposed to be mixed in 20 liters of water. So you get a 20 liter can and you can pour all of this into it, and it will coagulate 20 liters of water ready to be added with cement and made a proper useful cement grout. So I know it may not be a very interesting episode this time, but it is definitely very informative. Stay posted, we'll have more interesting content like this or better than this next time at AV Kollam.